President Trump decided just hours after this attack to make this an immigration issue, which is a little confusing because when a neo-Nazi killed someone by plowing their car into a group of people in Charlottesville, Trump took a very different approach.
Let me ask you, why did you wait so long last neo-Nazi?
I wanted to make sure, unlike most politicians, that what I said was correct, not make a quick statement. You don't make statements that direct unless you know the fact. It takes a little while to get the facts. You still don't know the facts. And it's a very, very important process to me. So I don't want to go quickly and just make a statement for the sake of making a political statement. I want to know the facts.
So when it was a Nazi, Trump needed more facts. When it was a Muslim, that was the only fact that he needed. And now the president is still pretty new to politics, so other than being a fundamentally dishonest person, where did he learn to do this? Well, from the same place that he learns everything, the Trump Intelligence Briefing, aka Fox News. It's interesting to see how Fox's feeling about politicizing an attack depends on whether it furthers their narrative. And we don't have to look far. For instance, just a month ago, after Vegas, a mass shooting by a white guy, Fox's reaction was the polar opposite of how they're reacting after New York, a terror attack by a Muslim immigrant.
In the midst of tragedy, the rush to politicize the worst shooting in American history is shameful. Now, the left has no shame. What about people that are here that we never vetted? You can't even vet people that aren't here without being called racist and Islamophobic.
I thought it was inappropriate yesterday for people in these early hours to be jumping up and raising this as an issue. Let's wait a few days, see what happened. As far as the vetting, I agree. We do have to have improved vetting, increased vetting.
The bodies are still warm and people are exploiting this for their own partisan gain. Sadly, this event just reinforces all the efforts the president has made with regards to reforming immigration, the extreme vetting.
It's just not the time to dive into the politics and try to score political points. This guy who committed this crime, assuming that he did commit this crime, his entire family should be deported.
Clearly for Fox, you can politicize things as long as it's not guns. It's as simple as that. I bet they wouldn't even talk about guns in a game of Clue. It was Colonel Mustard in the study with the... You know what? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what weapon he used. The point is, people are dead and it's time to move on. Let's bring out the Monopoly. Come on, let's move on. Look, here's my opinion. I don't think politicize needs to be a dirty word. Like, unlike the words chunky or moist. Right? I think tragedies like what happened in Vegas and New York City should be politicized. Yeah, I said it. Because politics is how society works to solve problems. You could still be sensitive to the victims, but you should be working to politicize it. I think we should have these conversations. But if we do have the conversations, can we at least find someone who doesn't sound like this?
I am today starting the process of terminating the diversity lottery program. I'm going to ask Congress to immediately initiate work to get rid of this program. Diversity and diversity lottery. Diversity lottery. Sounds nice. It's not nice. It's not good. It's not good. It hasn't been good. We've been against it.
You know what Trump was thinking right as he saw that word? He probably looked down and he was like, uh-oh, long words. My ultimate adversary. My ultimate adversary, my bad guy. You know, Trump's English and reading is so bad, he would probably fail his own immigration test. And by the way, the diversity visa lottery that Donald Trump has always been against and obviously just learned about today, it wasn't some brown people charity scheme, right? It was passed in the 1990s with bipartisan support, and it was signed in by a Republican president. In fact, it was an attempt to get more Irish immigrants into America. Because people forget that when they say immigrants, it doesn't always mean brown. There are millions of white immigrants, including Donald Trump's grandparents. I mean, if you ask me, America's success is tied to the fact that this is a nation of immigrants who work together towards an ideal. That's its strength. But that said, if the president thinks the diversity visa program needs a second look, then I'm all for talking about it. Let's talk about it now. I'm just saying let's not be hypocrites. Because think about this. New York happened yesterday, right? That incident happened yesterday. And now Trump is ready to cancel the entire diversity visa program. But the Las Vegas shooting happened a month ago. And Congress still hasn't done anything to regulate bump stocks, the device that the shooter used to turn his weapon into a machine gun. Right? They've done nothing. No banning, no registering, not even a law that if you buy a bump stock, the guy at the counter has to give you a dirty look. Nothing. So why don't we have the conversation about immigration and the conversation about guns at the same time? I think America is resilient enough to handle it. In fact, I know it is. Because yesterday in New York, it didn't matter whether you were born here or immigrated here or lived here during the Jurassic period. What mattered is that everyone came together to do what New York does best: dress crazy and party till dawn.